Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're well. We filmed a video last week, and at the end of that we said that this week we'd be filming a quick Q&A about our farm work experience, both here in New Zealand and Australia, I guess, as well, because we did it there too.
Yeah.
And so you guys hustled around, you rallied up, and you gave us some questions, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to answer those.
Yeah, we got quite a lot of questions from you guys, so we'll go through them as streamlined as we can and probably blubber way too much, but
as always.
That's fine, because I think sometimes you need people who have experience, and sometimes it's good just to listen to what someone else has had, someone else has gone through.
Yep, words.
Yeah, all of those. We did choose like the windiest day on earth to film this video, so if the audio quality is a bit pants, then I apologise, but yeah. Anyway, on with the video. So, the first question is, how easy is it to find farm work, and are you only doing picking or other kinds of things? So this was like, there's quite a lot of questions, so we'll answer those two first.
Yep. Well, we're going to overlay some footage over the top of all this talking anyway, just so you don't get sick of seeing our faces. But yeah, so finding farm work, what do you reckon?
I think it depends on the season, and it's something that I never thought about before. Obviously fruit and vegetables grow in season, so if you come to, I don't know, New Zealand in deep winter, it's going to be a lot harder to find work depending on what fruit you're picking. So the different islands have different fruits and vegetables that they grow, so it's really important to be, you know, in tune with it. So the kiwi season just started like just the other day, hey?
Yeah,
so,
pretty much, yeah.
You know, if you were coming here like 2 months ago trying to find fruit picking work, then you would really struggle, you know. Yeah, so you do end up doing maintenance, which is what we've been doing, and then eventually you transition into fruit picking. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It can be really easy. Like, you can, when we got our job, we just text someone and she texts us back, and that was us in the job. It was super
literally
easy.
The text, I think we must have texted her about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, evening time, and she texts back and she's just like, yep, start tomorrow 8 o'clock. And we're like, whoa.
So random. Yeah, so depending, like I said, when you come and what contacts you've got, it can be really easy. So the best way to find farm work is to talk to other people. So if you're in a campsite or a hostel, ask around, because everyone's like employed by someone.
I think kind of the kind of accommodation styles where backpackers would migrate to are a good bet as well. So when we were in Australia, we went to like a working hostel in Coffs Harbour, and whilst that working hostel didn't actually get us the work that we started off doing in the end, a farmer actually rang the hostel saying, look, I need 10 guys tomorrow, what have you got? And so the farmers know that backpackers are kind of up for more less serious work, more casual work like this, and so they'll hit up areas like that, like a campsite or a hostel, something like that. The campsite that we're in right now has got, what, half a dozen? Six or more notices of pack houses and picking houses and maintenance from back in January. Like, there's just job offers all over the notice board. So.
There are, and even in if you go to supermarkets here, you can go to these big notice boards and you can look on there, and there's always advertisements for jobs. So you can either ring them or text them and just see what they say back. You know, don't wait around for people, and if you contact people and say start tomorrow and you never hear from them, just sack them off and try someone else.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
in fact, we know people that they've actually got, like, say 3 farmers on the go themselves. So if one farmer doesn't text, then they can wait on the next farmer, and then you know, it's kind of about putting so many eggs in your own basket. You've got to look after yourself when it's a job like this, you know.
You've got to remember that in this kind of work, they need you more than you need them. And for every backpacker, there's 6 farmers that need you. So you've kind of got it all. It's like swayed in your.
We've got the power. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, in terms of what sort of work we've been doing, so in Australia we picked macadamias, and then we picked raspberries to get our 88 days done, and then here we started off doing maintenance work on a kiwi orchard. So that's without getting in too much depth, it's like affecting the way it grows so that it's more productive, helping it to, it's called training, so leading it upstream so that it grows towards the light and it helps it, fertiliser, pulling weeds, we've done all sorts, and at one point we've even ended up, so you'll see the footage over the top now, we've been doing some work on a blueberry orchard as well. So it's the same area as the kiwi orchard, but they've just got this one blueberry block that they're working on, and yeah, we've been doing stuff with that. So we've been lugging those plants around, filling in the gaps and weeding those, and all sorts of things.
And then I don't know what would you call Bellew, like?
A contractor.
Yeah, so we have a contractor, that's we're employed by, and then the farms reach out to contractors, and that's how they get work. So it's like a 3-stage process to get work, but it's really easy, and so she just messages us each day, and now the season's starting. Some days we'll be doing kiwi picking, and some days we'll be doing maintenance, depending on, you know, because the season's just starting, there's not as much picking work and because we're trained in maintenance, we can do that instead. So we've kind of got the best of both worlds. So
Yeah.
we're never really without work unless it torrentially rains, like
Yeah.
it has been known to do. You know, it's not too bad. So yeah, you know, it's really good. If you can get here before the season starts, sometimes it can be a little bit easier to make sure that you set yourself up for the long run.
We are rambling. All right, next question.
Would it be us if we didn't ramble? Is the campsite near your farm workplace? A sort of random question. Oh, sorry, this is 2 questions. So, is the campsite near your farm work? Not really.
No, not really. It's well, Google Maps says it's 35 minutes. It probably takes us more like 45 minutes to get to the farm where we're doing the maintenance the most, and all the picking farms are close by to there anyway. So say it's about 45-minute drive every morning.
Yeah, we could be closer, and you know, you can choose where you want to go. A lot of farmers do let you stay on the orchard,
Yeah.
so just it's whatever you prefer. But I really like being near the beach.
I would say we've said all along that we wanted
Yeah.
to be able to
Exactly.
be next to the sea.
Yeah, so that's what we decided. But yeah, it's, you know, it's up to you where you live, I guess. Alright, so then the last part of that question was her just asking if we've ever tried to sell our necklaces in a market stall. The answer to that is no, but it's something that we're definitely going to look into in the future.
Yeah, definitely would like to. That'd be cool. Okay, so our next question is from one of our patrons. We asked on Patreon as well if anyone had any questions, and this was a farm work question, so we thought we'd throw it in here. So thank you, Kayla, for that. What is it like working on a farm, and how many other people do we work with? Working on a farm, it's pretty cushy, you know. Like, I don't know, I like to be outdoors. You know, I've done my time in an office, and yeah, I don't know, I prefer this outdoor work. It's been interesting to kind of have your eyes opened into the industrial agriculture kind of world. But yeah, been out in the sunshine most days. Not in a, oh my god, you're going to get skin cancer and all that. No, it's just been nice to be outdoors, you know, out in the fresh air. And how many people we work with. So when we started doing the maintenance, there was probably about 20 people in our team, something like that. And on Friday, there was just us 2.
Slowly like dwindled.
There's one other guy that we work with who should have been there, but he slept in that day. So we're down to 3 of us. We've whittled it down, and now we are the last 3 survivors. But because picking's just started, our contractor has now employed a load of picking teams as well that we're joining into. So I don't know, there might be another 20 people in the picking teams as well. So yeah, that's kind of a rough average. It's a good number, I think, for the farmers to be able to manage us when we're actually there, and so it works quite well for them to have that many people.
You get to know people, so it's really nice, you know, it makes a really nice little family of people. Right, next question. How did you find the job? So we already said that. No, did we? Oh, no, we found it through our friend Marie, so we asked around. I asked Kate, I asked Marie, they're 2 people that were like living in Tauranga and, you know, trying to find farm work too. So I asked the people I knew. I was looking all over backpacker boards, and you know, we were looking on
Facebook and everything.
Yeah, we were looking around. So we found it through Marie. We just rang the Texas lady that she gave us a number for, and that's basically how we got our job. Alright.
How do you justify that this is not the job that you learned or something academic?
It's a deep one.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
It's a good one.
I did a single year of music technology at university before I realised that they were teaching the same kind of syllabus for that first year as GCSE, so that's university learning kind of the same kind of stuff you'd learn when you're about 15 years old, so that was just felt like a complete waste of my time. So that's a hard industry to get into anyway, so I've not got too many qualms having left that. And like I say, I've done my time in an office. Yeah, the pay was good, it was boring, and yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to be outside, and effectively I want to work for myself eventually, so no problems with the farm work. What do you reckon?
I think that for me, it's the means to an end. You know, I'm in New Zealand, I'm travelling the world, I can't always do what I trained to do, so I trained as a massage therapist. I was doing that last year and it was serving me well, but that job's quite unstable. You know, so for me it was just like, well, I'd rather get full-time hours, know I'm getting full-time hours, know what my pay is each week, and depending on the weather of course, but yeah, that was my justification is, yeah, I trained in something, but I trained in that like 5-6 years ago. I was a different person 6 years ago than I am now, and right now I'm travelling the world and I need to make money to be able to carry on, and so kiwi picking is so easy, it's low stress, you don't have to worry about it. If you don't want to work tomorrow, you can just text her and be like, sorry, I'm not coming in tomorrow. You could do that 7 times and she would still have you employed, because like I said, she needs you more than you need her. So you can just go on random road trips, you can just take days off, you don't have to worry about it, and you know that that job's always going to be there. And we could leave tomorrow and nothing would happen. She would be thankful that she had us in the first place. So that's my main reason. And
Yeah.
I
I agree with all of the above, somewhere. I agree with all of that.
So what's a typical working day, and what do you guys end up doing most days? So like we said before, variable.
Very variable.
So the last week we've been on the blueberries, sorry. We've been on the blueberries and we've just been doing all kinds of things. We've been removing weeds, we've been chopping and pruning. Tomorrow we're going to go picking, so like we said, it can be literally any of the above. Yeah, and that's what most days look like. We always say it's the most random job we've ever had.
Absolutely.
You can try and predict what's happening tomorrow and it'll just be the complete opposite.
Yeah,
so.
literally. If you try and kind of predict what you're going to be doing tomorrow, you can guarantee it will be the complete opposite. If you think you're starting at 7, you'll be starting at 8. If you think you're starting at 8, you'll be starting at 7. If you think you're going to be working all day, you'll be finishing halfway through the day. And if you think it's going to rain, it's going to be sunny, and vice versa. So
yeah, you never know. And I wanted to say this as well. You never know. Like, what was I going to say?
I've got no idea, mate. It's going to be funny watching you try and remember, though.
Okay, well, I'll let you know if I remember. I think I was going to say... No,
The suspense is killing
I
me.
don't know, beats me.
Alright, next question then. What's the wage, and do you need to find a separate accommodation? So generally with a job like this, you are on minimum wage. We're just slightly above, but we're fortunate in New Zealand that they pay holiday pay, kind of a start as part of your minimum wage as well. So all in all, it works out to just above what the minimum wage would be. And in terms of the accommodation, like we said before, some farms you can stay on the farm. We purposely made sure that we didn't want to do that because we wanted to be close to the sea out here.
I also
So, yeah.
like to separate work from life.
Yeah, I think that's important.
And I think sometimes it can get really overwhelming if you're surrounded by your work friends all the time. So it's nice to just have that separation and be able to do your own thing. Sometimes it can get really intense. And you know, backpacker culture is a lot of drinking and, you know, spending late nights, and it's not my cup of tea. So it's nice to be able to just distance ourselves from that a
It's
little
an
bit.
expensive lifestyle as well, to be
It is,
honest,
yeah.
you know.
Especially when you're trying to save like we are, so it makes more sense for us to just have our own little life in our campsite and just be happy and, you know, talk to people when we go to work.
Yep.
So, next question. Is there a website to get the job? So like I said, I will leave some links below to some of the websites that I use, but there are heaps out there, and you know, it's up to you to just do your research. And I think the best thing is word of mouth. You know that it's a reliable person, you know that they're not going to mess you around, and yeah, it's just the easiest way to get a job, and I think it always has been too. And then they can put in like a reference for you as well. They can say, oh, such and such is going to contact you, and you're more likely to get the job that way too.
Okay, the next question is, what are our bosses and co-workers like, and do we get a fair wage and treatment? Our bosses are awesome.
Yeah, so nice.
There was some kind of more tense days. There was we planted an entire orchard at one point, and it kind of seemed like the managers were up against each other, so that was quite tense because they were trying to make sure that they were doing a good job, but it was like more of a tense atmosphere, wasn't it? But yeah, no, they're really sound with us. They're happy to chat with us. You know, it's not like that manager minion divide or anything like that. You know, they're happy to chat to us, and yeah, we said the wages are nice and fair treatment, and we don't really have any co-workers left. No, I'm joking. Everyone that we've always worked with has been absolutely sound, except for when we were picking the other day, and there was these two guys that, I don't know, were like, our contractor had come in that morning and she said that how fast we were working and that, and then these two guys in the afternoon just, they didn't like what we're doing or something, and one of them just started screaming at us. I was like, holy smokes. She was not happy, eh?
I think it's just down to like sometimes people, especially with picking, it can be really intense, and
it's a really intense environment.
I find it a lot harder to pick than I did find it to do maintenance. So if you're one of those kind of people where it's like you enjoy your personal space and your little bubble, then you know it might be a bit hard, but you can do it. So just make sure you take earphones, because sometimes people play the most crazy music, like electro, really loud,
hardcore Italian techno. It's like whoa.
And yeah, it can be really overwhelming. And you know, there's people like all over, and you've got like 5 different people with speakers on, and that for me just like, oh, I'm gonna have a panic attack and die. Like, it's so intense.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, so you've got to take that into account, and you just got to work as a team. And you know, if someone's doing something you don't like, you've just got to talk to them about it. And in this instance, Dom tried to talk to this person. She just flipped. Like, anyway, they're fired now because they had this argument with many people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Eventually the boss, I think
Yeah,
started,
I think so.
telling the boss what they should do.
Yeah,
So that didn't go down too well.
You know, it's a very casual job, but if you start to I don't know.
You got to know your place.
You can't be the manager. You've
No.
got to remember that. Like, we are just being paid minimum wage. We are just basically monkeys, and that's the way you should be. You know, take the chance to have no responsibility or anything like that, and just enjoy it, I guess. How come you don't wear hats in Australia? I think it's required. So it is in Australia. When we worked on the blueberries. Raspberries. It was more of like a really legitimate company, and when it's a legit company, they're very, very hard on health and safety and making sure they tick boxes to look like they're doing the right thing.
As well with the raspberries, I think, because just in case people aren't aware, basically every punnet of raspberry that you see in the supermarket has been packed by the same picker. And so I wonder if that's kind of to stop hair getting in the punnets and stuff like that as well. Because literally, like the picker will pick a load of, it's like buckets that you wear around a belt. You pick into the buckets and then you run across to a trolley where all the punnets are set out, and you've got to cram into the punnets as quick as you can, get that punnet closed, and that's the last time it gets touched by a human. It might get stickered up and all like other stuff like that, but it is packed by the same picker out in the greenhouse, orchard block, whatever they're grown in. And that's just because they're so delicate, they don't want them being handled and tumbled and stuff like that. So I think with that it was more of a hygiene thing than anything.
Yeah, I don't know, like I think Australia is really big on the sun safety thing. It doesn't seem to be as much of a thing in New Zealand, and we've never been told to wear a hat by our employers, but we're not. I think we are working for a big company, but it's not as crazy big as we're working for Driscoll's Berries in Australia, which is like a huge raspberry company.
I think they've got at least 6 massive orchard things around Australia. Like I know for a fact they've got one in Tassie, they've got one in Victoria, and we're on the New South Wales one. They've got a heap of.
Yeah, we were both wearing hats when we first started this job, but it was getting way too hot, and I think the hat sometimes just keeps all of the heat in. So it was just getting too intense. So
I was coming home from work and I was just exhausted, and I figured out I was basically boiling my head through the day, and since I stopped doing that.
We wear sun cream, and we put sunglasses on, and that's pretty much it. Our skin's got used to the sunshine now as well, so we don't get burned very much anymore, if at all. I'm
sure some of you are a bit horrified right now. The sun is beaming right now, but we've been here so long, I've not got any sun cream on, and I'm going to be absolutely fine,
Yeah,
and that's how we should be as humans,
But it's just the thing of like, we're only going to be here for maybe like 15 minutes, well, we've been here 17 minutes, but like, maybe
rambling!
It's going to be less than an hour, and it's not enough time to get too much sun exposure, but when you're working in the sun all day long, you've got to take that into account and just be sensible. Our friend Marie actually had a really great thing, and it was like a sun visor, so it didn't have the hat part, it was just like the
almost like some golfers wear them. If anyone's into golf, you'll know what we're talking about.
So they're really good as well as a second option if you don't want to cook like Dom did.
Alright, next question. How is the pay and how long have we been there? So that's an easy one. The pay has just gone up because minimum wage has gone up in this country, so we are now, with the holiday pay included, is $19.98 per hour. The picking, it varies because it depends what fruit you're picking and how big it is. That ranges from I think it's $18 per bin for a green kiwi, and then I think the gold kiwis are $22 a bin, something like that.
The golds, you get more money for picking those, but they're a little bit more fiddly.
More delicate, but they're more valuable as well. I think they sell for more, do they?
Yeah, they do sell for more,
and we've been working since January, so yeah.
Okay, next question is, how many hours do you work?
So when we said that we never know like what we're going to be doing each day, whatever we think it'll be the opposite, well, our days tend to be pretty varied, don't they?
When we first started, we were working 5 days a week from like 8 till 5, so that was really great, and we were allowed to work as many days as we wanted, so at some points we were doing 7 days of work in a row and then having 2 days off and just doing that on repeat. But as the season, it was like the season
It was a weird crossover, wasn't it? Like a shoulder season almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like the season for maintenance ended, but the season for picking hadn't begun, so we were in this weird like period. And they just changed it to.
It was only flat.
They changed it to working Monday to Friday and having the weekends off, but now it's back into picking season. We're working Monday to Friday, then generally having either Saturday or Sunday off, but working the other day, so 6-day weeks currently. But
the rain stops you working, that's a big thing to note as well. So as that shoulder season happened, we started getting more rainy days. So actually there was a period of time where we were only working 4 days a week, and some of those were only half days. So there was a bit of a struggle at some points back there, but now it's ramping back up to it. I think they've picked every day since last Friday, like a week ago on Friday, and today is now Saturday, so they've done 8 days picking. We're going to be picking tomorrow, they'll be picking all next week, forecasted.
And I think it depends, like obviously we've not started the proper season yet, but our friends said that sometimes you can be picking 12 hours a day if you want to. Like they'll let you go home when you need to. So you could be picking from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So possibilities are endless. So the next question is, what's the most surprising thing that you've learned so far?
Interesting.
Yeah. I think I learnt how crazy the agriculture industry is.
Yeah, I think it's insane.
I mentioned this in my one of my last videos, and it's been really humbling to just see the mass production of especially kiwis. Like when I look I go to a farm and I look around, I'm like, holy crap, this is a lot of kiwis. And our bags, you know, the bags that you've probably seen in the video, they hold 100 kiwis, and we fill one of those big wooden bins with heaps and heaps of these bags, so that's a lot of kiwis. And that's one orchard. And I'm just like, how many kiwis does the world produce? It's insane.
It's madness.
Yes, I think that's one of the things that surprised me the most.
No, just the same.
And just the industrialisation of it.
Yeah, it's same with the raspberries in Australia. It's crazy to see just how much time, effort, resources, and just the absolute intensity that goes into it.
And how many people go into it, you know, like it's not just you picking, you've got a manager, you've got all the people that help you to pick, and then you've got like the people that drive the tractors to bring the things, and then you've got the people that are transferring them onto big like lorries, and then you've got the lorry drivers, and it just keeps going, and you've got all the people like in the factories doing all the sorting, like. Plus
all the contractors that in most cases are in charge. You know, there's someone in charge of all those people as well.
Yeah, it's just
it's crazy.
It's so crazy.
Alright, the final question is, what should someone know before pursuing a farm job or picking job? I think for me, just know that this isn't a career. This is a casual job when you want to earn some quick money so that you can continue on somewhere. Don't get me wrong, like I'm sure you could make it into a career if you stay doing it for long enough and all that sort of stuff and get talking to the right people, but for us at least, especially in Australia, we wanted to do our 88 days. Now we're doing it to save up money, so we're going back to Queenstown. As far as I'm concerned, you know, this isn't a career, it's just like a quick job. It's the same as maybe there's someone that wants to work in a cafe in the local town. It's just our equivalent of that. Like we said, we wanted to work outside, out in the sun, out in the outdoors. I'd say out in nature, but like we just said, it's not a massively natural environment. Yeah, a kind of nature, semi-nature. There's still things growing.
I think for me it would be that, like I said before, it's a really low stress job. If you just want to drop into a job one day and leave a week later, you absolutely can. It's not easy, you know, some of the jobs we do are super easy and I'm just like, how do I get paid to do this? Like yesterday we were just picking rusty leaves off a bush all day, but tomorrow we'll be picking again, and picking is really intense, and I'm not going to like say it's too hard. It's not hard and your body just get used to it, but it is heavy and it is monotonous work and it can be really intense. So one thing I would say is go into it knowing that it's not forever, and that you're doing it for a means to an end, and that in 3 months time you can just leave. Like that's the only thing that keeps me going when I'm there. I just put a podcast in at tune out and I just pick, because if I didn't I would just go crazy. I think it is hard work and it is monotonous, and it does take a toll on your body. You know, the work we've been doing this week, we're doing a lot of squatting down and like hooching over, and I can definitely feel it, and I could tell that if I did this for the rest of my life, like I'd just be crippled. Like, it's really intense, but like I said, it's a means to an end and it's not forever, and even if you did it for an entire year, I don't think you could sustain it for much longer than that. So if you are going to do it, just do it in seasons, you know, just do like 3 months here, 3 months there, and I think your body will thank you a lot for it. So I think that's all the questions, eh? They were really fun to answer. If we missed anything, if you've got something that you really want answering, then just let us know below. I could write a full blog post about this in the future if you guys are interested, because I do think it's helpful to people, you know, if you want to learn about farm work and you've never done it yourself, because it is an eye-opening experience.
It's definitely an experience.
Yeah, it's really fun, and if you are travelling, doing a working holiday visa, or even live in a country that offers farm work like this, it is a really great opportunity, and it's just a really easy way of making really quick money without worrying about it, I guess.
Low stress, low drama, easy in, easy out.
Yeah, so if you made it to the end of the video, congratulations, you get a big thumbs up from us. We do like to blabber, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that it gave you some answers to your questions. And yeah, I hope that you plan on sticking around and subscribing to our channel. We love talking about travel and just like our advice and just us bumbling through life and see where we end up. And we really do appreciate all of you, and yeah, thank you so much for being here, and we will speak to you all in the next video. Bye guys.
Ha! Fooled you. We completely forgot to say that we're doing a sale on our Etsy store this week, so use the code that's in the description below for 15% off absolutely anything on the store. So yeah, hope you guys check that out. Have a good one, catch you later. Bye guys.